Hi everyone, I'm Teawrex and I'm here to talk to you briefly about Festival of the Lost. There's been a lot of heated debate about how it's run on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and Reddit and whatever else you post about Destiny. And I'm also kind of speaking off the cuff, so if I come across as someone who's not reading off a script, it's because I'm not. Briefly, I do want to tell you about the history and the facts of Festival of the Lost first. This year, what you can get is 4 shaders, a whole bunch of guaranteed legendary masks you get to keep, some from the quest line, some Ava is selling for full candy bags as you go and turn into her. There's a couple emblems, and of course there is the broom sparrow, but it's temporary, but it's a fun quest, and then you get to watch a sad robot try to sweep out an actual broom. And then last year, what you were able to do is you were able to acquire every single mask that was not the blue skull mask from Eververse. But you weren't able to keep it. You were given, I think, 1 paper glue per account to then kind of pick and choose, hey, this is the one mask I want to keep, you know, without spending any money. And then, of course, you could, spend more money, and then, oh, look, you have all of the masks, or whatever you want to do. That's kind of the super broken down version of what's given to you. Now, the difference between what you can spend money on is where I think a lot of the frustration comes from. So, last year, the only thing that was really locked behind an RNG paywall that you're like, fuck, I want to get that, but this is the only way to get it, and there's no other way to acquire it, was the Blue Skull mask, which I have, begrudgingly, which took a long time. Now, this year, there's, of course, all the new masks, just like last year, that you can get via legendaries, you know, right here, get to keep forever, but the stuff that was advertised and what people actually want, it seems, it's typically, a lot of people are talking about the Ghost, and I mean, how could they not? Look how adorable it is. Look how adorable he is. And then, of course, there is the new ornaments, and there is the Firewolf mask, and for me, I absolutely wanted the Jealousy, which is a green sparrow and green's favorite color, so why wouldn't I want it? So, on average, you are locked behind a lot more money spending to get something that you want. I only want, honestly, one thing out of this bag. And I am required to spend a crap ton of money, at least with my luck, as it turned out, to acquire only really one thing I want. And the thing is, I'm not the kind of person who typically cares about, you know, I'm a collector, but there's only, truthfully, one thing I'm going to be using forever. That's maybe the Ghost, you know, the ornaments, but I'm not a big bad juju person, but I always use my sparrow. You know, everyone travels around their sparrow, right? So that's what I want. There's absolutely no way for me to deterministically acquire this. And that's where I think the pressure point and the frustration comes in for so many players. Is that this just seems, to a lot of players, seems greedy. For me, I have a lot of people who work in the gaming industry, and their, you know, #1 job is to make a lot of money. I mean, everyone, you know, is Activision, and a lot of the stuff that they do for Call of Duty, you know, why not start moving over some of that stuff here to make a little bit of money? But I think there is a way that you can do right by your business and do right by your players. And I currently think they are putting business above players. And that's frustrating. It's it's certainly not something I want to see in the future. Basically, this whole system has reduced what could have been a really awesome event, and you do get so many more free things. Like, the shaders are great. I love my new shader, and finally we got to have Super Black after so long teasing of it, you know. And here we are, we finally have it, but no one particularly cares because everyone's talking about these boxes. So what could you do differently? I'm not a game designer. I'm not someone who knows all their data and sees all that they see, but I think the simplest way is, I mean, look what Overwatch does. Everyone loves Overwatch microtransactions for the most part, because it's all cosmetic, right? You're not gonna kill somebody because, oh my god, that person had the taunt that I didn't have, and it embarrassed me, so I died. That's not typically what happens, right? Instead, what they do is, let's say you open an Overwatch package, right? You then go ahead and get yourself a little bit of gold out of there, and then you can spend that on things you actually want. So if you want a Genji skin, okay, you spend a little bit of money, or maybe you just play and play and play and play and you get more boxes, and then you have enough money to finally say, yes, I can get the Genji skin, and you're happy about it. The problem here is that there's no real way to grind to get something you want, and there's no real way to get a guaranteed drop of what you want, which inspires a lot of frustration, and it just feels like gambling. And I don't really want to do that. I want to be able to choose what I want. Bungie's already doing something right, in my opinion, by having the duplicate masks you get out of those boxes give you silver dust. That way you're not just absolutely boned like last year. That's a good step. Why not go one further? Why not say, for silver dust, I could then go ahead and buy something out of Eververse, out of that package. So let's say for 30 silver dust, I could be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up that sparrow, and I'm done. It's so much more approachable that way. And it's so much better for the player. That's just one solution. I'm sure there's people on Reddit or on, you know, the Bungie forums who have better ideas. But I think that does right by them as a business to earn money, and does right by us as players that ideally gets us what we want. There's still the chance that maybe by buying a few packages you might get something extra, or you might get what you want early. But that way you're not stuck in a situation where you're spending, like me, about $100 to get one freaking thing. And I know, people are going to be mad at me saying I'm part of the problem, and I guess maybe to a degree you're true, but I don't feel that way. I think there's two ways to voice your opinion. You can absolutely voice your opinion with your wallet, but, you know, this is the only game I play, and I want to spend some money. It doesn't mean I can't critique the system, right? So that's kind of how I feel about it. It's a great event that I think is being overshadowed by one decision that's kind of making everyone else frustrated. I hope that kind of sums up my opinions in how maybe Festival of the Lost could be better, and how it's kind of changed from what it originally was. It went from this approachable, anyone can participate for the 2 weeks, into the things you really want and the things you desperately desire are behind a paywall. There we go. I hope that enlightens you a little bit. Hope you like this video. Thank you very much. Have a good day.